Anyway, just wanted to touch on this thing while it's fresh in my head and I'm out here riding. As you may be able to tell, it's fall, it's autumn. The leaves are not up on the trees. As you can imagine, they're on the ground. I came to a realization while I'm out here riding, and just wanted to give you a little bit from that. And maybe it'll help you in your coaching or in your own riding. I'm a mountain bike coach, mountain bike instructor, and I'm often taking what I'm learning on my own riding and applying that to my teaching and giving that to my students. One thing that I noticed today is with the dropper post, kind of a hack on how to not slip out. First I want to go to a reference that I may use. If you're familiar with derailleurs, there's a limit screw, and that limit screw limits the chain from going too far. I often refer to the seat as a limiter when I'm trying to get my students to turn or tip their bike more, lean their bike more, or whatever word I'm going to use. That seat, like I said, is a limiter. When you feel that in between your legs and maybe on your backside, on your butt cheeks, it kind of stops you. Your higher brain realizes there's something there. And so that bike body separation doesn't occur as much. So oftentimes I'm telling students, you're going to get more bike body separation by lowering that seat. Dropper post, if you are blessed to have one, is such a great, cool, fun, awesome tool. And often in our riding, if we're dialed into utilizing our dropper post, we are dropping our post on our descents, and we're going to be turning a bit more and kind of leaning through those. And we're going to raise our post when we want to sit in our saddle. Maybe we're climbing more and we don't want to be out of our saddle as much. But what happens sometimes is on the leaves, we slick out when we have that bike body separation, when we're leaning our bike more. And so you can utilize in the fall, when you have these slick leaves or whatever slickness might exist in the environment, you can utilize that seat in the opposite way and kind of unlearn what it is that we've been doing more. By dropping that post, we're telling our brain, hey, we can lean, we can separate from our bike more. But in doing so, we might slick out. So I encourage you, if you're slicking out a bit on some of those turns, you don't have to keep your saddle up all the way, but maybe don't go as far on your drop, on your post. And you might find that feeling that limiter in there will stop you from going as far as you might usually go, and it will stop you from being so far leaned over that you might slick out. Obviously, another tool is reducing PSI in your tires. Not everybody has that ability if they're not tubeless, and even then, you're only creating more surface area that might still be a slick environment. If those leaves are stacked on top of each other, they're going to slick either way. So keep that in mind. Maybe it's a tool that'll become useful for you or your students. I hope it helps. Shoot me some questions, comments, feedback, whatever. I appreciate it. Cheers. Have a wonderful day. Ride. Be safe.